Rage in Southern California. Many would agree it is remarkable that so far only 2 homes have burned, despite the fact the flames have threatened literally hundreds of homes. And tonight, we meet a man and get an incredible demonstration of how his firefighting gel is literally saving houses, money, and lives. Dan Gouldner is the operations manager for a company called Barricade International. It's got a very unique solution to fight fires, and he joins us tonight from Florida. Dan, thanks for joining us.
No problem, Bill.
You're going to demonstrate this gel in just a moment. Very quickly, tell me what's in it and how it was developed.
Basically, it was discovered about 10 years ago. My boss is a veteran firefighter, second generation. He discovered that a baby diaper did not burn in a trash fire. Since then, he's gone on and met with chemists and turned it into a gel that is now used to coat homes and other structures in the event of a fire.
This is a polymer you spray on, what, 6 to 8 hours before you think the fire is coming, and this will protect the structure. Is that the idea?
Exactly. 6 to 8 hours is a real safe number. We've had it last from 8 to 24 hours, and it can also be rehydrated to work hours even after that.
Well, we're going to meet somebody who benefited from this in a moment, but first let's see how it works. You're on, pal. Let's see how this gel works.
Sounds good.
Now you have here a you put the board up there and you're going to spray the gel on for us first, right?
Right. We did coat half of the board. I'm just going to spray a little bit here, clear up. We have some thin areas. And we'll get a little more gel on there and we'll put some fire to it.
Go ahead. Now this is something you can attach your own garden hose. You spray it on, you get about a 1/4 inch coating there in order to be effective, right?
Exactly. This is our homeowner's kit. It basically comes with 5 gallons of product.
Go ahead and screw it on
and
there.
The homeowner can hook it. Homeowner can hook it right up to the garden hose.
Yep. All right. And then you spray away.
You just want to open the shutoff valve here.
Now you put this on under the eaves. You put it on the side of the house. You can spray the bushes too, right around the house.
Yes, sir. You want to coat any glass windows, eaves, decking, anything like that that could be fuel for a fire. A
shake roof you would need to do that.
Exactly, and we've actually put some cedar shake shingles up here to illustrate some typical roofs out west there.
Now you're going to show us how effective this is. You're going to try and light that on fire.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we'll burn it.
Don't try this at home, by the way. This is a professional at work, I assume. What do you got there? Blowtorch?
Just going to put my gear on here. I apologize.
That's all right. You got to be safe.
Oh.
Okay. Now without the gel goes, but the side with the gel, I guess, is going to be safe there, huh?
Exactly. What you're seeing is we explain the technology like a bunch of wet, sticky sponges, and you'll notice that a couple of layers of sponges are actually burning off from the flame, but there's plenty underneath it, and that's what's protecting the wooden surface.
Let me bring in that homeowner I was talking about who benefited from this, and wanted to thank the folks there at your company. Patricia Pizer is a brand new homeowner there in Chatsworth, California, and her home was saved by this product, and she joins us tonight from Southern California. Patricia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You tell the story. You moved into your home, you and her husband, just last Sunday, right?
Yeah. Sunday night, we spent our first night in the house, and Wednesday morning, I took my husband to the airport to fly off to Indiana, and the firemen showed up in my driveway about 3 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon, camped out there all day, and it was very exciting.
Well, they ended up saying that your house was in danger. You have a shake shingle roof still. It was about to be replaced, and they felt that you needed protection, so they sprayed this gel on your house, right?
Yeah. A wood shake roof has a relatively short life expectancy, and this one was at 27 years.
Wow.
I literally had the roofers showing up yesterday. They were scheduled to show up yesterday.
So they sprayed the gel on the house, and then what happened? How close did the fire come?
Actually, the fire ended up coming about 20 feet from the house in the end of it. When it came over the ridge, they were very nervous. When it was clear from the spotters that it was going to come over the ridge, they decided to spray down the roof. So there were a couple of firefighters up on top of the house with the gel and fire hoses hosing down the roof, probably about 2 hours before the fire actually broke across the ridge.
And what shape is your house in? Any damage at all from the fire?
Not a thing. Not a thing. It smells like smoke, but there's no fire damage at all.
Now you took these pictures, I take, that we're looking at here.
Oh, yeah.
What, I mean,
guess.
It had to have been very scary moments, I would imagine.
Yeah, you know, the fire department had asked a lot of us to leave. There was no mandatory evacuation, but it was voluntary evacuation. I drove my car down to the bottom of the hill and decided I really couldn't stand to be quite that far away. So the farther photos where you can see some houses in the foreground were taken from the bottom of the hill, but then I went back up and you know, took some photos when they were up on my roof. Yep. And as the fire was coming around the side of the house, you can see it. There might be one there that has a firefighter in the foreground.
Yep, we saw that earlier.
The house is about 100 yards away from that, where that man is standing.
Dan, we get the idea there. We've seen the side without the gel has obviously burned. The side with the gel hasn't. What happens when you want to take that gel off? How do you remove that from the house?
Normally, you can spray it off with a garden hose. We'll show you that in just a second here. Sometimes it is necessary to pressure clean. You'll have people evacuated for weeks at a time, and you may have to come back and pressure clean. But the garden hose should do the job, and we'll go ahead and rinse a little bit off here and show you how that works.
And while you're doing that, Patricia, have you had a chance to hose your... Go ahead, Dan. You can do that while we're talking to Patricia. Have you had a chance to hose your house down yet, Patricia, or anybody do that for you?
Actually, the firemen told me not to hose it down because while there are still spot fires coming up, it was better to have the house protected. And I can just hose down the roof and dampen it and still have the barrier be effective. I've hosed off my car, which had some spots, and you know, my rose bushes were spotted, and they're totally fine. It just rinsed right off. What an amazing thing.
Is your husband still out of town? Did he miss all this excitement?
Yes. He's still in Indiana. It's been a little stressful with being alone in this huge house and trying to take care of everything that's been going on.
Now, Dan, we should point out the fire department, they obviously bought this from your company, but people can buy this for themselves. I don't want to make this a total commercial, but you can. I know people are out there saying, how can I get some of this stuff? You can buy it from your company's website there. How much does this cost?
The normal home kit costs about $320. It covers about 2,000 square feet. So depending on the customer's need, we have a couple of different systems, but the home kit that attaches to the garden hose sells for $320.
Patricia, can you put in words how much this gel has meant to you?
It's very hard to imagine what it must be like to have just moved everything you own into a structure and then find out that there's a fire on its way towards your house. I didn't have the energy to take anything out of the house, so the very idea that it was going to be safe was incredibly important. I really can't express in words what this has meant to me.
Well, we are very happy for you that it worked out nicely, and we wish you well in your new home there.
Thank you.
Patricia Pfizer there in Southern California. Dan Gouldner of Barricade International. Nicely done, pal. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Now, when